I'm very happy that we finally have come to a week, a point in time, a date. Even though it was a little bit late, we've finally come to the place of to the promised land that is a One Piece chapter being released. We got to divide the chapter up into two parts. There's Beige's ship approaching the Sunny, with Sanji getting on board the ship, and the second part of the chapter was really focused on the little oven thing and the Luffy versus Katakuri. So let's dive into the first part. Actually, slow down. The Tontatas, they have a new ship, which it's small. I don't know how they're gonna sail the seas with a ship that small. I mean, the waves are gonna. The New World is no joke, and I mean the weather's gonna be insane. I don't know how they're gonna be able to man such a ship. I mean, they're gonna be able to man their own ship that it's made for their size, but I don't understand how a ship that small is gonna be able to sail the high seas. But we'll just see where that goes. There'll probably be one more cover story with the Tontatas involved, included, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I think they're going to have problems. I really do honestly believe. I think that they're going to have issues sailing, just in general. And do I like the design? Yeah, the Usopp thing. At first, I was a little bit like... But then I got over it, and after rereading a couple times, it grew on me, just like all the little goofy, silly One Piece stuff does after a while. And so, that's it for the cover page. Now moving in. Beige's ship is approaching, and Sanji says, yeah, you do your thing, and he gets on the carpet homie of pudding, and the thing it's not a big deal, okay? Let's not act like there was a speed feat and we're gonna go in and write a whole Wikipedia article about the carpet, pudding's carpet, but the fact that it was able to move fast enough that Perospero and Bavarois was not able to see them. It is impressive, but at the same time, it's the little homie, it's the carpet, whatever. Perospero, we see him having a internal debate about whether or not he's going to let Big Mom eat the cake, because on one hand, he's right, and it is important to address that, because on one hand, if they let Big Mom eat the cake and it's poison, they can't trust Beige. What are they going to do afterwards if she's dead? And on the other hand, if they just let her keep rampaging, she's a Yonko. I mean, her stamina has to be weeks on end. Especially, I don't know, with the rage mode, she is getting weaker because of the whole berserker state, but at the same time, we would expect Big Mom to be able to go multiple days. God, I'm disgusting. Multiple days to weeks. Not to weeks. Let's not say like she can go a month without sleeping, but at least a week. Let's say at least a week straight. I mean, Aokiji and Akainu, they fought for what was it, 10 days? So she should be able to keep up on that level and be able to keep going. So she's able to destroy the entirety of what she's built up to this point. And so that's a good point. Now, if I were Perospero, thank God I'm not for many reasons, but if I was, I would definitely let Big Mom eat the cake and just let someone else take the helm of the Big Mom Pirates and continue on with her dream. I mean, if Big Mom dies, the Big Mom Pirates don't die. There's still all of her children that can take the mantle, lead the helm. Let's go. Katakuri? Mount Dor? Maybe? Who knows? Now, the cake isn't poisoned, but if it was, that would be an interesting hypothetical, and, you know, the Big Mom Pirates will fall. No, they won't, dude. Perospero, if Big Mom dies, you won't be as powerful, but, I mean, the crew is pretty powerful. They'd be able to hold on to their territory to an extent, I would assume. So that whole internal conflict, I'm glad that Oda's not wasting time. He's not, like, making a big deal out of it. It's just, boom, that's what it is, and they're gonna follow him. Gotta follow him. Yeah, Beige. They're gonna follow Beige and Big Mom. So another important thing to note is that next to that panel, Chopper is like he's relieved that the cake has showed up because he's been fending off Big Mom. Now, I don't know what Chopper's been doing in Monster Point that he's able to fend off a Yonko's Prometheus fireballs. It'd be cool to see that, but of course we don't have that time. And maybe in the anime they'll be able to show us what he was doing. Was he doing blocking fireballs with his hands? He doesn't have hockey, so I mean, he probably wasn't fending off Big Mom for too long, but he's made of fur. He's made of a flammable, like he would be charred anyway. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. And another really cool thing that's important to mention is that Beige commended the Straw Hats for being able to control themselves and be able to defend their ship without their captain. And it's true that, you know, we've seen that before, that like, yeah, the Straw Hats without their captain, they can still function, they're still good to go because they all have their individual dreams and they lead themselves. They don't need no leader because they lead themselves. It's really cool to see them being commended for that. When Sanji comes back to the ship, okay, that made me feel good. I'm back, I'm back. That made me feel really good. I like it, you know, when a Straw Hat leaves and they come back and they get back together. It's always a good feeling. It's like, what's you know, a little dap up to the homie, Sanji, the cook, number one. His thing with Pudding and his love for Nami, and I'm not going to harp too much on that. I don't think it's that important. I think Oda's getting his gags confused. He's not getting his gags confused. I think he's using his gag with Pudding and his gag with Nami to like kind of to show us that Pudding's not going to be a love interest, because obviously Sanji's never going to stop loving Nami, and Pudding is never going to stop loving Sanji. So Sanji will never be tied down. He's always going to be in love with all women. I don't think he'll ever be in love with Pudding. I could be wrong, but I think the use of this gag is showing us that, hey, this love interest thing with Pudding is not going to go anywhere. It's not Oda's style to put romance into the story. I mean, it would be cool if he did, but at the same time, we see what Sanji's doing. He's in love with Nami still. He's in love with all women. He's an admirer. He's a connoisseur. Well, we don't know. We won't go that far. We don't know about all that. And moving on from there, Brook showing why he is, even though he's a goofball and he's always skull joke, and his skull jokes are funny. At first, I didn't like them like 5 years ago, but now that I'm older, I feel like my intelligence has come down enough due to circumstances in my life and stress that I don't need that much. I don't need to be pretentious. I like the skull jokes. Okay, the skull jokes are funny, and showing that he's not just a humorous guy, but that he is a guy that he is the oldest member of the crew, and he's gonna show his wisdom. How can we put this? Brook comes through with a save, because we know if Sanji would have found out that Pedro was dead, his morale would be diminished and he wouldn't be making thoughtful decisions. And Sanji is that dude. He is the guy that comes through with the plans. He's always the one step ahead of the situation. I mean, many examples, like at Annie's lobby when he closed the gate. Many examples. I can't come to them right now, but we know that's one of them, and that's the one that sticks out to me the most. Annie's lobby. There's many examples of him always coming through, staying one step ahead of what the crew's doing, because the crew is such a linear. They're not. I think Sanji's probably the smartest Straw Hat. I mean, I know there's arguments for that. Not the most, and he's knowledgeable, but I think he is the one that is always kind of one step ahead of the game, always making plans. Robin's up there. Robin's probably, she's better at like deducting things, but he is always one step ahead of the game. And if he would find out that Pedro was killed, he would have been in a diminished kind of, his morale would be diminished. So great move by Brook. Big round of applause. I mean, you're Brook. We all know it. It was beautiful. Brook's our boy. Brook's my favorite character. He's up there. He's like top 3. So whenever he does something, I just feel it in my bones. Skull joke. We do get introduced to new characters. Cinnamon, and Citron. Now, Cinnamon, she's beautiful. And I like how they're being introduced. Bada bing, they're there. And what this is kind of setting up is like Smoothie will do something this arc, which is great. I'm happy. We're going to see some action. However, who's she going to fight? Like Sanji? No, because Sanji won't fight a woman. Jinbei's going to take on a Sweet Commander by himself. So I think there'll be a confrontation. I don't think there'll be a full-blown out fight, because a fatigued, battered Straw Hat crew, Sanji who won't fight women, and the Vinsmoke, like, I guess the Vinsmoke could take on Smoothie, but Sanjis says he has a plan, and he only sees one way that he can get around this dilemma that they have with the fleet surrounding Cacao Island. So I'm interested to see what Sanji's plan. What is he gonna do? Will he fly over with Pudding's carpet and grab Sanji or grab Luffy up? What is he gonna do? Take the submarine, go under the fleet, sneak in? I don't know. I don't really know. That's the only thing. I've been racking my brain, trying to figure out what is Sanji's plan gonna be. There's only so many things he can work with at this point, so it'll be interesting to see what his one and only plan will be, and I'm interested to see. Now we move into part 2 of the chapter, which is Oven addressing the people of Cacao Island. And I watched a few reviewers before this. I shot this, but people kind of glanced over this. But Oven does say that throw anyone who doesn't want to cooperate with breaking their mirrors into the ocean and we'll retrieve them later. It says people. I'll put it up. It says people. So the people who don't want to cooperate into the ocean. So, I mean, the Big Mom pirates are ruthless, and then he goes on to say that he will execute anyone. I mean, I don't understand this crew. I mean, they're so belligerent with their actions. They're so brutal. I mean, they are pirates at the end of the day, so it's understandable. But at the same time, it's like, oh, we want to get all the races together, but then at the same time, you're going to execute your own people, and you're going to throw your people in the ocean who don't want to cooperate. I don't know. It's just like you're really going to leave this up to the people of the island, but it's not really that important. It's just another example of how twisted the Big Mom pirates are. And it's kind of a small part of the chapter. And we know where Luffy's going to come out from now. He's going to come out from the mirror. I saw some people saying that Luffy's going to punch Katakuri through the mirror. You know, I saw someone say that. I'm sorry. I don't remember your username. I saw it on YouTube in a comment section. That was, you know, that's probably what's going to happen. And that would be pretty cool. And moving on from that, we get to the Luffy versus Katakuri. Now, there's some arguments going on about the legitimacy of the wound at the end of the confrontation between Luffy and Katakuri. Now, let me break this down for you, okay? Luffy's about to get shot in the head. But then where does the projectile land? It lands through his leg. So then afterwards, the little panel, it shows Luffy being confused at the injury. It shows Luffy being confused by the injury. I think that's really important. That's Oda showing us that Luffy is able to see into the future, but only by a split moment, maybe 1 or 2 moments. Not full blown, okay? Just 1 or 2 like split moments, and he's reacting on instinct. So projectile coming at his head, he moves quickly out of instinct, boom, it goes through his leg. He's kind of confused, like, huh? He reacted with instinct, but at the same time, he didn't consciously process the event that would happen before him. Then we see Katakuri charging up his move, and we see Luffy dodge. So what happens? Luffy sees a few moments into the future. He sees that there's a fatal blow about to come for his head. What does he do? What does Oda highlight? Oda highlights his head to show the dodge, as in to indicate that the blow was coming for his head. Luffy saw it, reacted on instinct, and dodged, and then it goes through his side. So I think it's important to note that Oda is really highlighting that Katakuri's attack was coming for the dome, and he was able to sidestep, move, and it hits him like a shark bite in the side. That's where I draw the conclusion that it's legitimate. It's a legitimate injury. Now, some people have noted that the hand looks a little bit funky. Some people think that it's like Brulee's power, that it's a clone made by Brule, but I don't understand how contextually that makes any sense. How does that make sense? Please, if you know, please let me know down below and shut me up, show me what's good. Because in my mind, Luffy before the fight was talking about, I want to fight Katakuri. I want to get my observation hockey up to his caliber. Okay, So why would he make Brûlé make a clone of him to fight beforehand? Secondly, okay, it happens in the middle of the fight, in front of the extraordinarily powerful Katakuri, who can see seconds into the future. There was a switch somehow. So that doesn't make any sense. That there would be a switch in the middle of the fight and a switch before the attack of a clone. I don't see why Luffy would want a clone of him made by Brulé's powers to fight for him so that it could unlock Observation's Haki and not him. I don't see how that clearly makes any sense. I think the hand design is a mess up, but Oda really doesn't mess up like that. But at the same time, it's why. I just don't see why. And yeah, at the same time, it's like, what, is Luffy gonna fight with that huge wound in him now and taking huge attacks? I don't think so either. But at the same time, it's why would it be a clone? Why would Luffy want there to be a clone? I don't understand how that makes any sense in the context. That would mean that Luffy's drive to take down Katakuri beforehand will be nullified because he's using a clone from Brûlé. And in the middle of the fight, I don't see any possibility where a clone could have come in or a copy could have come in and replaced him. In front of Katakuri, I don't see where it could happen. And of course, that gruesome image of his eye, I just want to highlight that real quickly. He opens his eye and it's gruesome. I mean, Luffy is taking huge blows this fight. And his ability to now see into the future a couple seconds in this state is impressive, but it's not enough. I don't think his observations Haki is at the point where he wants it to be. So I think he's going to keep fighting. But how? How is it? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know how he's going to keep fighting. I doubted Luffy beforehand. I said that there's no way he's going to beat Katakuri. Now it's being foreshadowed like crazy that he's going to beat Katakuri. And now that we're seeing him take a huge blow in his side, I mean, I don't know what to expect. So I think it was a legitimate attack. I think that the way it was drawn, we can conclude that it was a legitimate attack. That he's reacting on instinct at this point. His observation Haki is good enough to where he's seeing a few seconds into the future, but he's so injured that he's not able to focus as if he was at 100%. And on top of that, he's only reacting a few moments into the future, so it's not enough. It's not at the level that it needs to be. So how is he going to continue to fight? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this fight is going. And if Luffy keeps fighting for like another 3 hours, another 2 hours, it'll be hard to call it legitimate. It'll be proof that it's legitimate because it's in the manga, but at the same time, it's like Luffy can take all that. Luffy can now do that. But I guess he has been running around nonstop for the entirety of the whole Cake Island arc. He did fight extraordinarily hard at the beginning of the arc, and then in the middle of the arc, he was still going strong. Even though he had a little bit of a break, he still was going strong. He's been running around like crazy. So maybe he's been learning consistently throughout the arc. And I think it would make sense if you go back and reread the arc from its beginning when the arc ends. When this is all said and done, and the last chapter of this arc drops, and we're all like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then if you go back and even Dressrosa, if you go back and read it, yeah, there's a focus issue, but it's a lot better if you just read it as a whole story instead of chapter to chapter. But regardless of that, I love this chapter. Thought it was amazing. Absolutely, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. It was a great chapter. 100% great chapter. Loved it. Didn't really have any problems with it. So that being the case, and that being about it, hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing. I hope it's going great. And if it's not going great, I hope it gets better. I hope you muscle through. I hope this One Piece chapter gave you that fix that you needed. And I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe.